Hi, I'm Jules, a speech pathologist of 16 years. The question is, what's something I can do at home now to get started and that will continue for my child's overall speech language development? And the answer to that is, it's quite random, but it is the most impactful and research-based. It's actually routine, or what is sometimes referred to as creating islands of predictability. So that's something you'll see when you go to speech or OT sessions, is that you're going to see like a routine or a continuance of play or activities that is done in a way that is familiar for your child, shows repetition, shows something that they already are familiar with and continue to do during those sessions. So it can be like, if you think about when you go into your session, there may be a song to start with, there may be a routine of sitting down or exploring the room in a certain way, or jumping on the trampoline first and then doing some tabletop, whatever it is for your child. What's happening, and I'm sure your clinicians explained it to you, but it's something you can do at home as well, is to create those islands of predictability, is have a routine. What that means is really think about how you function at home. It's really, don't have to recreate the wheel. So things like having breakfast, getting dressed, packing a bag, taking out the trash, putting things in the trash, bath time, mealtime prep, washing, things, etc. You get the gist. So things that are happening around the house, what you can do is you embed your language strategies or your regulation strategies into those things, because we know they're going to happen the next day. And that predictability enables a child to go, oh, I'm familiar with this, right? Their brain's familiar with it. It creates like a scaffold or a stability for them to continue to keep learning or to add to what they already know or already are learning. For example, so like open is a great keyword, or one of the first words. Even if a child's saying oh or ah or signing, any attempt at that is the first step. So you could embed that into, in the morning, like opening the door or opening their cupboard to get clothes or opening the nappy bag or the bin. The more a child is hearing and seeing that word, that sound, that sign, the more it's creating the neural pathways in the brain. So remembering, a child is pretty much born with no neural path, like there's not a lot of development there when a child's born. So all of those synaptic connections, all the neural pathways, all of the brain growth that takes place between 0 to 6, we can really help shape that through repetition and those routines, or islands of predictability, whatever you'd like to call them. And basically another one could be at mealtime, so using the sign for food and trying to say some of those words like apple or more. Okay, so if you might have sultanas, that's a pretty strong word, hard word to, for first words, but it could be simplified to nana, sultana, or even nana for banana. And have that opportunity. It may be, if you always have a banana for morning tea, that your child will be ready for that next routine, right? After you've done your floor time books and stuff, they start to look around for their food, and you may even hear nana or pointing or waiting in the kitchen or sitting at their chair, for their sitting at snack time chair. So it's all those little things that build up that child's confidence and predictability. In contrast, like the things that aren't as effective is if a child's routine is it's not stabilized, it's not in a place where they know what's going to happen. So it's not predictable. Okay, an example would be, I like to call it choose your own adventure. So the child does, they don't have an idea of what's happening for that day. And, you eat at random times as such. And this is not a personal, please don't email me about this, but it's research shows that if we have that routine and established way of expectation is more helpful than not having, okay, now I'm going to have some food. Oh, now we're going to go to the park. Now we're going to do book time. this also mimics childcare and preschools, okay, which is another great way children learn through those routines, and why we recommend that a child does attend an early education setting like preschool or childcare. So it is obviously completely natural to have your home and you're following your child's lead, but think about those regular routines like bath time and meal time, where you can really embed some of those strategies, the Hannon strategies and other strategies that your clinician, or regulation opportunities that your occupational therapist will be going through, and create some of your own routines. I'm happy to share some of the ones I created following based on our son's interests, which are very gross motor, movement based and food based. So I hope that answers. I'm sure we can go into more detail, but if you do have more questions, feel free to send a message, and I hope you found this helpful.